Well, I'm Christina Bovard. I am a mom, let me say, I'm a wife, a mom, and an educator by profession, and a chauffeur, and a home chef, and a laundress, and a personal assistant, and all the other things that go along with it.
It's a lot.
Yes, it is a lot. And a dog walker, and a cat caretaker, and everything else. Oh, okay. Well, because of my daughter, my youngest daughter, she came to take a class, and voila, that is how we wound up here at Ballet, North Texas, and at the conservatory. Well, both my girls, my younger daughter and my older daughter, dance, and they've been dancing since they were little, 2, 3 years old. So through the years, I would, of course, shuttle them to dance classes, and I would sit in the waiting room, and they'd have 1 class, 2 class. Sometimes I was at the studio maybe 3, 4 days a week. I got tired of just sitting in the waiting room. And so one of the studios that they went to when they were younger they were offering an adult class. And so I thought, well, heck, why not? Let me give it a shot. And at least I was doing something rather than just sitting and waiting on them. So that's how I started taking class. Oh, okay. Well, so I thought about this. Now, one could say a classic waltz step, or one could say, a chasse or something. But I would think that I'm going to have to say my favorite is a pas de basque. Yes.
Why is that?
Okay. Well, because a pas de basque, in my limited knowledge, kind of has a little bit of everything. So you get a little bit of a waltzy feel. You get a little bit of a jump. You get a little bit of a direction change. And then my favorite is at the end. I kind of like to think I go, ta-da! So that's the reason why I like a pas de basque.
Everybody loves a good pas de basque.
Yes.
It's so nice.
Well, then, of course, there are so many different ways that you can do it, too.
There are a lot of different types of pas de basque.
Yes. Well, maybe one day I'll say pirouette, but it's not going to be anytime soon. Any turn, to tell you the truth. Well, opportunities, meeting you fine people. I don't think you and I would have met ordinarily if I hadn't started doing this. I would probably say really one of the big things is the people that I've been able to meet, and especially people involved in the arts, such as not only the dancers, artistic directors, assistant directors, choreographers, but also those that work at the performance halls, lighting directors, technicians, getting to meet people. And I find it interesting asking and learning about how people chose to go into that area, if they have made that their career. Mm-hmm. So it's really opened up my social circle. Well, and perhaps, I don't know, I also I've been learning things here and there. So that's been another plus, adding to where this has led, or the experiences that I've been able to have. To help with costumes, I love working with clothes. I don't necessarily sew. I mean, I could do something that would be really simple as a stitch, but being able to help organize and handle that, seeing to the care of the costumes, such as the steaming. I love to steam the costumes. Strange as that may sound, but I really do, to make them look nice and fresh. Doing that, also learning about lighting. I've helped with the lighting backstage, putting it all together, laying the floor. I mean, just finding out all that goes into a production. So, maybe building a new kind of skill set, perhaps. It's not exactly something I would do in the classroom. So getting to find out and experience other things has been really interesting. Mm-hmm. Well, any of the productions. But I would have to say running neck and neck would be the Sleeping Beauty production, and also this past season's Nutcracker. Mm-hmm. And especially that because my husband and I got to do that together. Mm-hmm. And that was a lot of fun. That was not something that I thought that we would ever do when I said I do, some 20 years ago. And then we wound up doing a show together, which was quite fun. Quite fun.
So, what parts did you do in Sleeping Beauty and Nutcracker?
Oh, well, in Sleeping Beauty, I was the queen. And in Nutcracker, my husband and I were grandma and grandpa. It's, well, it's fun. It's fun because we get to come home, we get to talk about it. Uh, she tells me her experiences, I'll tell her mine. However, when we're there, she's very much in her world and I'm very much in mine. And we do cross paths, but she is a performer in her own right, and then she has her job, and I will have my job. But it's nice to be able to have the experience together, so we can talk about it, so we can remember. Um, and it's not just the performances; it's the rehearsals as well. The rehearsals are a lot of fun and a great memory. So to be able to experience that together, it is neat. It's neat. It's I think at first you think that, oh, we're going to be on top of each other and it's going to be like my mom is there, but it doesn't really quite turn out that way because everyone has their job and everyone is in their role, and it's a very professional environment. So you go and you do your job. Mm-hmm. Although you may be 49 and you might be 14, but you're doing your job. Mm-hmm. Well, for one thing, I will say that my husband has learned to cook supper on the nights that I am in class. So he has to handle that because we get home at such a late hour. All of us, we have discovered as a result of this that we are all creative in some way. And so being a part of Ballet North Texas, being able to be a part of the productions, has been something that the entire family has been able to be involved with. Mm-hmm. So I mentioned Nutcracker. My youngest danced. My husband and I had character roles. And then my older daughter helped with my costume, and she crocheted the shawl that I wore on stage. Mm-hmm. So we all participated in some way, and she would come to the theater because she goes to school right across the street. So after school, she would come to the theater during tech and rehearsal week, and she'd be there with us. And so it was a nice experience for the entire family. Mm. So that's one thing that has been very memorable and something that has impacted our entire family. Plus dinners with dad, or cooked by dad, which we never quite know what it's going to be. Okay. Well, aside from the obvious physical benefits, making exercise a little bit more fun, I think as one gets older, you have a tendency to, perhaps stay in areas of your life that are comfortable and that are familiar. You know how to do this, it's worked well for you, you keep doing it. That is one thing that I would say if someone wanted to try something new, and I would suggest ballet. One, because of the physical benefits. One, because of also the artistic benefits. But it's also just real important, I think, is as we get older, that we stretch our legs, that we try something new, that we remember what it's like to not be all-knowing or great at something. Remember what it was like to be when you were young, what it was like when you were younger, and you were just starting out and discovering something. So that's what I would encourage people to do, and to give ballet a shot. I mean, and music is playing and you get to move. Why not? Oh, well, I think the old adage or the cliche being not to take yourself too seriously. This is hard. It's fun. It's fun. But I will say it's been surprising how what you do is difficult. What you do is very difficult. So not to take yourself seriously. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be, oh, okay. You're going to get frustrated. But I think that's part of the beauty of it. And to enjoy the moment. That's the other thing that I think ballet at least has taught me, is that you have to be present. it asks for, the art form asks for you to be there and to be present, to listen to the music, to listen to your body and how you're feeling and how are you interpreting it right then, because you're not going to dance the same way every day.
Mhm.
So it's the here and now. And that's what I would say to anyone adult that was considering it. Come, be willing to have fun, be easy with yourself, and just take time right then and there.
Yeah.
I can't think of it. Just that I hope that everything continues, class continues. I get to keep coming. My husband will make dinner when I can't be there at the house to take care of that. So, but I would probably say the final thought is yes, dancing for a profession, coming to class and being involved with B&T has been very eye-opening for me. In what y'all do, the effort that you put into it, everything that goes and is involved in a show, in a production, it's amazing. And I take my hat off to y'all. What you do is just, it's just incredible.